The House has resumed. Members, the House is considering the first reading of the Minimum Wage Amendment Bill. Dr David Clark has the call. He has just under 4 minutes remaining.
Mr Speaker, when I was so rudely interrupted by the dinner break, I was just making the very point that when National put up the minimum wage just 70 cents in their 9 years that they were in power in the 1990s, unemployment hovered up between 6% and 11%. It never saw those levels again under the Labor government, when the Labor government put up the minimum wage by a whole $5 over their 9 years. Now, there was more that needed to be done, but you can't doubt that the minimum wage went up. And what happened? Unemployment went down to the lowest levels in the Western world. So those who would argue that raising the minimum wage would cause unemployment know themselves deep down that they are wrong. They know they're wrong. And what we also know is that even the mean-spirited people opposite, those people who would put a view like Michael Woodhouse put, that have this mean view of human nature that say that people don't want to get out and work, and you have to pay them a whole lot of money to get them out and work, they should understand that increasing the minimum wage, even those who put that mean-spirited view, would be a good incentive to get people in work. But the reason people want work and want to get out there and work is because they care about their families. The jobs are not there. And there are economic consequences of underpaying those people. Underachievement of those young people who don't have full stomachs when they go to school. They do not reach their potential. They do not become the future tax-paying citizens that we would wish them to become because they have not reached their potential. They get preventable illnesses through living in cold, damp and overcrowded conditions from parents who don't have enough money to look after them as they would want to. And then there are the costs of antisocial behaviour. We know very well that the economic case for opposing the minimum wage rise does not stack up. The money that is paid in additional wages goes to stimulate the economy. It also is true that small and medium enterprises largely already pay above the minimum wage, certainly at a higher rate than other enterprises, and it actually levels the playing field when their competitors are forced to raise the minimum wage also. So that party opposite, I would say, is the enemy of small business. That party opposite hates small business. They hate the fact that small business already pays decent wages and is undercut by other operations who are on the lowest common denominator. Mr Speaker, we need to pay a decent wage. We need to pay people the money that they need to live good lives, to reach their potential, to contribute towards our economy. This government has the worst economic record in 50 years. There are nearly 50,000 more people in unemployment. And we know that 50,000 people a year are leaving this country permanently to go to Australia. And the reason they're going to Australia is because wages are higher there. Wages are higher there. Nearly $20 New Zealand is the very lowest wage that gets paid there. There is a huge gap between New Zealand and Australia in wages. And if we do continue to underpay, we will see our children, grandchildren disappearing off to Australia where they can get paid better. This bill is a chance to take a much-needed step towards addressing child poverty in New Zealand. And it is simple. It puts $60 a week more in the wage packet of a 40-hour worker so that they can put the necessities, the milk and cereal, out for the kids. It isn't a cure-all for child poverty, but it's a very good start. And I want to say, in closing, Mr Speaker, that the Prime Minister has admitted he couldn't live on the minimum wage. Why does he think anyone else can? It is disgraceful and shameful for the government to oppose this bill.
The debate having now been completed, I will put the question. The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary, no. No. Noes have it. Party vote. The clerk will conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
59 votes opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
34 votes in favour.
Green Party.
13 votes in favour.
New Zealand First.
8 votes in favour.
Maori Party.
3 votes in favour.
Mana.
1 vote in favour.
ACT New Zealand.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote opposed.
Any other votes?
The ayes are 59, the noes are 61. The question is not agreed to. Call on members' order of the day number 2.
Ombudsman, cost recovery.